Hello and welcome to Toastmasters in the Community. I'm your host, Fran Okeson, and with us today is, well, on Staten Island, we all know him very, very well, Mr. Gregory Perillo. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you.
I'm going to be talking to you in a little while, but I do want to thank my crew who came in. It was supposed to be a very nasty day out today, and there's a breeze, but it blew us all into the right place. We have a wonderful show planned for you. If you like the show, you can let us know. My email and my phone number at the end of the script, and I guess we're on our way. So we're going into the speeches first, because at the end I will be interviewing Greg, and I have some questions here, and we'll see how his memory is. We are celebrating Greg Perillo's 90th birthday. And I met you, what, a little more than 35 years ago. I never knew you were this good then. But anyway, you sort of grow on people, right?
If you don't grow, it's no fun.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Mary Perillo? You can talk. We'll make her say something when she comes up here. All right, we're going to start. What I'm doing on this show is completing my 36th, what we call in Toastmasters, a high performance leadership project. We've been honoring Greg for his birthday the last few years. We've been having fun with him and having fun with the folks who come. We have some guests who are going to be entertaining us through the show, and we have some surprises. The plan that I came up with was honoring Greg on his 90th birthday. And I didn't realize that this whole thing was going to have a life of its own. It started out very slowly. I got the idea of, I wonder if we could find 90 people who would send a letter to Greg Perillo. And I started thinking, and my son said, "You might. Don't wait too long." But then I sent the letter out to all my Toastmaster friends, even some of the people that I didn't care for. I figured, if they write a letter, it may get me up to 90. A high-performance leadership project does not have to work. Your committee has to be with you along the way, and all they're interested in is, did you do the best you could? So I had a committee of people from this club, No Limits Toastmasters, and my vice president of my club was on there. I'm the president this year of this club, Joe Maurizio. I kept the committee short, so I had people from the South Shore who we could talk to about this. Once they heard that I was trying to get 90 letters saying happy birthday to Greg, everybody sort of thought, that's never going to happen. I said, it doesn't have to happen. I have to try to make it happen. And if it does, all the more power to my friends. But I have to just tell you, Isaac, if you can put up the flyer I sent out, these are some of my props, please. No, that's Crazy Horse. All right, Greg is known as Crazy Horse. All right, that's the flyer I sent out, and you can see it on the cameras. And I just told people what I was asking them to do. And it went very slowly. A letter came, a couple of people, one hand wrote it, my VP hand wrote it. But show them what happened when the paper went, when the Staten Island Advance, Carol Bonatti's column. Okay, they're right in order. Look at the coverage Carol Bonatti gave us. That was fantastic. It blew me away. Right?
It was impressive.
It was fun. I read it like I didn't know anything about it. And I love the fact that she took the picture that you gave us a long time ago of you when you painted the cowboy and his lady with the Reagans. I know you probably can't see that far, but she picked a good picture to put in the article, because people were, if she didn't have your picture in there, people would have just turned the page to the sports section. So anyway, this is part of what I did. Then all of a sudden some letters came in. And I said to people, please put Gregory Perillo on the subject line. So every morning I'd get in there and turn on my computer. I'm not computer literate at all, but I can still read. And I said, Peter, we got one. He said, okay, so now you got 3, you got 4. Okay. Well, Greg, you're dying to know how many we got. And I have to tell you that Peter went over yesterday to bind the book. Somebody misunderstood and thought I was writing a book about you for your 90th. And I had to just clarify that immediately, because when I know I am writing a book about you.
Yes.
All right? Should I tell people what it's called? I have the cover done.
You can do anything you
I'm
want.
calling it Inside the Frame. and we have conversations, and I go to the house, and I'm picking his brain unmercifully, and I have an idea of where I'm going. I just need the time to go there and get to that point. But anyway, the book, and Mary Batchelor is doing the invocation for the book, and it's coming along pretty nicely. But this is the book that Peter had done up in Staples last evening. I kept waiting for more to come in, and 3 more came in while he was out, and I put them in, I just glued them in different places here so that you could see it. And then Greg also got 3 birthday cards. So I know your birthday is, should we announce it and bother people about sending you cards? Or just
I got a lot of cards.
already?
Yeah, at my home.
Oh, very good. All right, so they're early too. All right, so Greg, I'm going to make a presentation of this. And Richard, I guess he can't come to the camera. You know, this really is a heavy book. So now Greg is dying to know how many, Greg, enjoy this. I have a folder for
Thank
you.
you.
I have a bank envelope here. You can leave it out on the table for now, but take it home and that'll be safer. Okay? All right, for the world to know, would anyone like to shout out an answer of how many you think we got? Did we reach 90 or did we go over 90?
112.
Try 127. 127, Greg.
100. I still have fans.
You don't have fans. They're responding to me.
Oh, you're my pinup girl?
No, she's sitting in the audience right now. No, I'm nobody's pinup girl. But anyway, isn't that unbelievable? 127 people wrote you letters.
Wow, I'm flattered.
Yeah, it's just, it goes with the territory. And next year, his birthday will be on May 3rd. And I have no idea what I'll be doing for then, but we'll see what we can come up with. All right, so my speech, Joan, I can't see the light, so I don't know if I met my time. Maybe that timing light can come out so I can see it, please. All right. Well, I've asked my division director, Amelia Voiland. I have trouble with your name, Amelia. Voiland? Oh, a few extra letters in there. Okay, I've asked you to evaluate me, so I'm on green. So let's just close this up. I am filing this after July because I've done, I think, 3 or 4 more HPL projects for my different clubs. I'm in 5 clubs of the 6 on the island. So I'm saving this and file it in our new year after July 1st. So, Greg, this was a lot of fun, and now the show is all in honor of... Don't let it go to your head. I was going to try to find a cowboy hat and just put it on just for the heck of it. But you know,
should've.
well, I'm wearing brown because of the Indians, and I'm wearing brown because the second show today is all about the Boy Scouts. So I figured I'd cover both bases with my brown. Okay, so let's start the show. Joan, you're on. I should have, yeah. Okay, so this is Joan Maurizio, longtime member of our Toastmasters. Joan, you and I are both in 5 clubs. I know I'm in 5. Are you in 4? Are you 5? Okay.
Yes.
Joan is president of the Business Leaders Club. All right, Joan is doing speech number 5 from the basic manual, and the topic is Your Body Speaks. You have 5 minutes. Ken Raftery is your evaluator, and your title is Vietnam Soldiers, Unsung Heroes. Let's all welcome Joan Maurizio.
Hats off to you don't like hats. Put it under. I'd like to say that I began knowing Greg just about like everybody else did, because back in those days, very few people had a computer. So it was newspaper articles. And here we go again for the guest of our show. The only other thing on the page is ads. They have to make money. But it was a beautiful article where I love the title. It says, I always wanted to be Tonto. So as the years went by, I joined Toastmasters. And Fran was always so nice enough to say, I know Greg Perillo enough. He said we could have private shows in his house if I wanted. But we went to his actual shows. We went to shows all over the island. And that's how I got to meet Greg. And it's funny because one day, as Fran got to know me and she knew I had a little bit of a talent with calligraphy, he asked her about a printer. And she had no idea what he wanted us to do. So the thing was, what do you want it for? And then he told her, she said, I know somebody, I have somebody special in mind. I think she can make you happy. Here I was now, I felt like the Queen of Staten Island for a day. I was invited to Greg's house. not only was I going to do this because I thought it was going to be a favor, he paid me. It's my first really great professional sign painting job for calligraphy. Everything else was small jobs, little wedding things for people getting married. So I said, all right, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to drawing small, painting small, and anything with a small pen on a nib on a pen. So I said to myself, I don't know if I could foot the bill. So I did it. The first thing I did with the Unsung Heroes, it was very small. And he said, no, it has to be bigger. So then the second time I did it, I made it a little larger. I think it may have been maybe another time, but I don't think it went past 3. What happened was, in the end, I said, you know, you can have this blown up to any size you want in a print shop. So what happened was, we were invited now, after I had done my work, we were invited to this big get-together in New Jersey at the Memorial Museum with all his beautiful artworks, many, many beautiful paintings. You say, what beauty can there be in a Vietnam painting? I beg you to go see the Memorial in New Jersey. It's really pretty. Like this horse and this Indian that look like they want to step right out and say hello to us. It's the same quality artwork there. It's beautiful. I was amazed, though, when I went in. The first thing I saw was this big, big banner, bigger than life. It was much larger than I am. And I said, wow, he really took it to heart. He took my little tiny artwork that I did, and he really blew it up. And I was so surprised. I know Fran, in a repertoire of thousands and thousands of pictures she has that amongst her pictures. I don't think I ever asked for a copy. But anyway, I'd like to read something to Greg because he's so special. To Greg Perillo, astounding artist with equally good character. With all of today's mayhem and chaos, you need only to glance at a beautifully done artwork of yours, Mr. Perillo, to be at peace again. The world is very blessed to have you, even if some have never seen your wondrous talent that flows through the gifted hands and your mind. However, listen to him as he speaks. The epitome of peacefulness and happiness come out. You don't have to see his artwork, you just have to meet him. Although not a close friend, I'm honored to be a distant acquaintance. That's what they call them, acquaintances. How do I know the man, the artist? Through Fran Okerson. Thank you, Fran. You've heard her story, and I was so honored to be asked to do one small part of a project for a magnificent artist. Through Fran Okerson. I had to include her in this. You've heard, oh, I said that already. Thank you for your interest in us. St. Francis de Sales said this, and it fits you precisely because you live it daily. Do not try to be anything but what you are, and try to be that perfectly. Perfectly is large on this letter. This is not just in reference to your art, your profession. You're also a wonderful husband to your extraordinary wife, and an exemplary parent to your children. I raise my invisible champagne glass to one of the world's finest artists ever. God's abundant blessings to you and your loved ones today and every day, with utmost respect. Joan Maurizio. And with that, I end.
In front of the painting?
No, but don't show it. Don't frighten people.
Isaac,
Thank
no,
you.
no. I want that on the tape. Isaac, please. There it is. There's Joan standing next to the painting. Thank you very much, Joan. And now, what? No, that's that's just a speech. This is for Isaac. Table topics. All right. And now we're going to, if I can ask you all to just be silent, we have a presentation. I'd like to introduce Jerry Greyhawk from the Red Storm Drum and Dance Troupe. And he will be telling you, describing, from what I gather, they've been here before, and he'll be describing what his friend Robert Bold Eagle will be doing in honor of Greg. This is called the Honorary Dance, and from what I gather, it's a tribute to someone they hold in esteem. So Greg, this is for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And good morning.
Good morning.
What we'd like to do, of course, is to wish him a happy birthday. Of course, happy birthday, Mr. Perillo. I have never referred to this gentleman by his first name ever in the years that I've known him. And we've come across each other many times over the years. And it's always an honor to do this for him. He's heard me sing. He refers to me as the voice. And what he's done for myself personally and for many Native peoples, everything that he's captured in his paintings was mostly a vision of what we could only experience through the stories of our elders and our grandfathers. And he brought them to life for us so that we can actually see them in the physical form, which is a great, great honor to have for our people, because as far as I'm concerned, we can only see these things in our thoughts. And we pray that we can honor our ancestors in the same way that this gentleman has honored them. His views on nature and the first peoples of North America is beautiful, classic to its every form. And he is one of my favorite living Western artists of all time. And it's always an honor to be in his presence. And right now I would love to honor Mr. Perillo with an honoring dance. My brother Robert Bold Eagle, if you wouldn't mind coming over. And if any of you could come and help us out and honor this gentleman in our way, we do what's called a unity dance, an honor dance, and we would love for you to stand in the middle of our circle. So, oh, you're still mic'd. All right, well then we will have to dance around you then. Okay. This will be what we call a unity friendship dance. So if any of you can come up and help him out, it will be fantastic. Don't be shy. Do not be shy. This is an honor. It's a very serious honor. Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead in the middle. Okay. Well, what Robert's going to do is we're going to form a line joining hands, and we're going to dance around Mr. Perillo, and then we will end here in the middle and do the friendship dance in his honor. So whenever you're ready, just join hands. Everyone just join hands. I don't need the mic.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was,
Nice seeing
that was
you.
wonderful, Jerry.
There he
Thank
is,
you.
Bald Eagle. Thank you. I'm good. I think he often.
Jerry, please stay up at the
You
front here.
should.
Please come up here. Yes, just make sure that you're on camera, please.
Jerry and Robert, on behalf of District 83, we want to thank you for honoring Mr. Perillo today with your sharing your talents and your Native American customs with us, and we thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Even though this is a special day, but we believe that every day is a special day, so we celebrate you every day.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
that
the
was
best.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Robert. We'll invite you back. And that was our District Director, District 83 Director, Paula Markert. I asked her to come and do the honors.
Thank you.
I didn't expect that. That gets under your skin, doesn't it? I got chills.
It's memorable.
But you sort of get...
I wanted to get up and boogie.
You should have asked Isaac for permission to take your mic off. Maybe he would have let you. Well, now you know how to do it because you and Mary can do it all around your house.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Now, we're about... all right, we're going to do the evaluations now and then go into table topics, and then the rest of the show is some questions I would like you to answer for the folks.
Fine.
So my first speech, Amelia Voiland, I'm the Area 64 Director, and she is my boss over there in the Jersey part of our district. She's our Division F Director. So Amelia, can you come and tell me what you thought about my speech, my HPL project, okay? Thank you, Amelia Voiland.
Good morning, everybody. Fran explained to us this morning that she was working on her HPL, and having an HPL project could be very creative. And I feel that what Fran did, she thought of Greg Perillo and his work and his life and his 90th birthday coming up, and she decided to make an HPL project for it. What did she decide to do? Get him 90 letters. She also explained to us that it doesn't have to be successful. It could be 3 letters, but she tried. But with Fran's persistence, she did not stop just there. She started sending flyers, books, getting all the people involved that she knows. And with that, she got not 90, but 127 people. I personally feel that Fran's HPL project was a big success because it went above and beyond. And in the form where it says, what could she done differently? I put down none because she really did the best job that she could. Fran, I commend you on this HPL project, and I am sure that Greg is very happy with the outcome. Happy birthday, Greg. Happy completion of your HPL project, Fran. Looking forward to more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amelia. That's wonderful. And now, I believe Ken Raftery is going to evaluate Joan's speech. Hello, Ken.
Yes, thank you, Fran. Fellow Toastmasters and viewers. Well, since the theme of this meeting is celebrating Gregory Perillo, it was appropriate that Joan's speech was about how she got to know him. And the topic of the speech was Your Body Speaks, and I really enjoyed the talk that Joan gave today. The topic selection, I guess it didn't directly have to do with gestures, but you certainly made use of them when you were describing something big, and you let your hands emphasize that. So it definitely worked. And the preparation was great. You didn't stumble at all. I definitely like the photos. Joan is an excellent calligrapher, and I'm glad we in the studio and as well as the home audience got to see your work. And the photo at the end was great where we saw you in front of the painting as well. Your hair was a lot different then, I have to say. And all other aspects I thought were well established, eye contact, expressions. Joan always uses a kind and supportive tone, even when she's talking about some of the bad things that have happened to her lately. She still is kind and supportive even then. And as far as some suggestions for improvement, I would like real champagne next time, please, not figurative. And I would just say, like, maybe at some point in the speech, like, relate it to the audience, like, maybe just summarize by saying, so if you have someone in your life that you appreciate, make sure you tell that to them. Because it is true that sometimes we don't let people know that we appreciate them until it's too late. So I'm glad that we got to hear your thoughts today, and I would like to say as well, happy birthday to Mr. Perillo. Thank you.
Very nicely done. Now, I remember when Greg called and he said, do you know a printer? I said, sure. That's good. I said, what do you want printed? And then you went and told me what you wanted. I said, you don't want a printer, you want a calligrapher. He said, well, whatever, can you get me one?
You got me the best.
She does her work very, very well.
She's excellent.
Well, now we're going into table topics, and for the people in the audience who don't know what this is all about, we have different jobs at all our club meetings, and the table topic master or mistress comes up with questions that the speakers don't know what they'll be asked, and they have 1 minute to respond to the question. So I decided to do something a little bit different. Yes? My stage manager, Paul, is telling me to speak more, I guess. We have a lot to talk about, believe me. We get on the phone or he sits in my car and don't worry about it. We're watching over there. I just, when there's 3 minutes, then you tell me to stop. Right?
You're the boss.
If you say so. Your real boss is sitting in the audience. Anyway, we're doing table topics. And what I chose, instead of asking a question, on our second show, if people want to stay, when we talk about the Boy Scouts, you'll hear real questions. Thought about them at about 3 o'clock this morning because I totally forgot to do it. But for Isaac and for Diane King and for Alex Boyland, what I did was I picked out 3 of Greg's lithographs. I love the Indians. I truly do. They get under my skin. But I had to pick out pictures that my people wouldn't say, oh my goodness, what should I say? That's the first thing people, they get worried about what they have to do. So Isaac, I chose bucking bronco for you. And I wish Peter or whoever, there. That's one of the bucking broncos. Now, let me tell you, I met Greg, well, no, let me get you on yours, and we'll talk about when I met you and stuff later. Bucking bronco. So, Isaac, tell us what that picture makes you feel when you look. And I did that because he teaches defensive driving. And when I realized what picture would be good for a guy from Soviet Georgia. So I figured, he doesn't have to gear this up or put gas in it. It's a horse. So, Isaac, tell us, when you saw that picture today, tell us what you think of it in 1 minute. You can start now.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and of course viewing audience. It's interesting how immediately Greg figured out that Fran is the boss. She is in this show, of course. And what did I feel? It's interesting. Actually, I've seen this picture, well, I've seen this painting before. And not today, though, a number of years ago. And what it makes me feel is, you know, it's like a wild power, you know, untamed power. And it's interesting to see not just power of the horse, but the power of the person on top of the horse. They're both in struggle. Each one tries to control the other one, or not even to control, to overcome. Probably better word for that. And my feeling is that the man actually will overcome the horse eventually. Keyword is eventually. But in the meantime, it's a struggle. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna stay on top? It's beautiful. It is beautiful. They both are beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. But Richard, you're blocking the lights, and I can't see the lights. Please. Isaac, would you please go over to Greg?
Thank you for that wonderful speech.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Very nicely done, Isaac. Very nice. Pull that out. Isaac, I can't see the lights at all over here. Someone will have to make those lights so I can see them, please. And now we have Diane King, one of my longtime Toastmaster buddies. And Diane, I chose Tender Love for you because I know that you have a grandson that you love to be, great-grandson.
Yes.
Because you're Gigi, you're a great-grandma. And so I gave you Tender Love to tell us what you think of Tender Love. And there it is up on the screen. I like it because my daughter's older than my son. And in fact, we had this, you gave us a lithograph and we made copies. And we had an art show for you at the Staten Island Savings Bank years ago when they opened the bank to us. I think it was on a Sunday. And you autographed the pictures. And one of my foster boys went down and had them all framed. Remember that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was a great show. And
We
thank-
had over 200 people there coming
Wow.
in and out. Yeah, I remember that.
You think very big.
I am very big. No, there's no editing on these shows either. Diane, tell us what you think about Tender Love, please.
Well, thank you very much, Fran, and special honors to our guest, Greg. What a lovely picture you chose to put up there for me to look at, although it's not on the screen right now. There it is. Very good opening to talk about my great-grandson, Robbie, who will be 14 next month, and everybody here remembers when he was an infant. So we've all been together a long time. I do have another great-grandchild, a little girl named Scarlett, and she's actually 16 months old. So to bring everybody up to date, and that picture very much reminds me of both of them because they come from different grandchildren. Robbie is the son of my granddaughter, and Scarlett is the daughter of my grandson. And they're 13 years apart, and there is a picture almost like this in the reverse of them. Robbie being older, Scarlett being younger. So whenever I see this picture from now on, and I'm looking forward to receiving it since I know that's what's going to happen, I will remember that I was able to speak about both of my great-grandchildren on TV, and I thank you for that.
Don't I know my people, huh?
Yes.
Well, I know how you feel about your
You know,
family.
If you were a Cheyenne, you would be known as White Cloud.
No, you always call her Jean Harlow, though.
Always, yeah. Thank you very much.
White Cloud, remember that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Diane. That was lovely. All right. And now I have Alex Royland, who is the, let's see, I'm Area 64 Director. He's Area 63 Director. All right, Alex, your picture is Native Americans. And we'll see that up on the screen in a minute. There you go. I just felt that you were, no, I won't tell you my thoughts. Okay, when you're ready. Thank you.
Madam Tabletop Master, Mr. Perillo, it is a great honor to be here today.
Thank you.
And based on this picture that we're looking at, we have a representation of time. Past, present, and future. We're learning from our past, and this is the history of our country. We live in our present, the power that this picture represents right now. And we're looking into the future. As a matter of fact, both, not people, but the person and the eagle is looking towards the future, towards our goals. So we can represent all three, past, present, and the future. Looking forward to your 91st birthday. And hopefully we all be here to celebrate.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Come on over here, Alex.
Happy birthday, sir.
Very
Thank
nicely
you.
done, Alex. Thank you very much.
Very flattering.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Greg, it's up to you and me now.
Shoot.
Oh, no. No, they did very well on this without
Oh,
seeing it
they-
ahead of time, huh? But that's what I like about your paintings because you can see everything. Oh, we have Lucy. I forgot about Lucy, your sister. Oh, my goodness. Lucy Perillo Buttermark.
Correct.
I made sure I put that in there so people know who you are. And when I first asked her if she would answer tabletop the question, no. I said, wait a minute, you haven't heard the question. No. I said, all I'm going to ask you is, and I'm going to read it verbatim. I can hear talking back there, and I really don't want to hear that. What was it like to grow up with Greg for a brother? When did you realize that he was world famous? Lucy Perillo Buttermark.
Okay. all my life, I've been his kid sister. And I remember growing up with Greg. He used to take me to Yankee Stadium and the football games. And ever since then, my father would go to learn American history. And what I remember clearly, Gregory writing on the, with Demi-Tasse coffee with a pen, writing on a paper bag and drawing the Indians and the horses. But I have a little story to tell about Gregory. When I was about 16, 17 years old, he had opened a store on Port Richmond Avenue, an art store. And he was teaching the students the art in a classroom. So I begged him, Greg, please, please, can I come? Can I come to a class and learn how to paint and draw? So he got sick of me asking him. So he says, finally, okay, okay. So I got into the class, and on my second class, he waited for everybody to leave, and he came over to me and he said, Lou, you do not have it. Please don't come anymore. So I accepted that. And I didn't have it. He got all the art, and I got nothing of the sort. But what I want to say, nobody's prouder or loves a brother like I do. And happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
But you got the laughs today, Lucy.
Yes, I did.
She
Okay.
did. She got a big laugh.
All right, now it's our time. So I'm going to ask Isaac to go along with me. I gave you some pictures to show, and I just wanted to remind Greg of when we met. I found his address, his home address, many, many, many years ago, and I'm not going to say where I found it, but I did a lot of volunteer work around Staten Island in my youth, and I figured, oh, I'm having a political rally at my house on my front lawn for Guy Molinari, because I worked very hard for Guy's campaigns. And I believe this was the one where he was probably running for Congress, because he was an assemblyman when he knocked on my door, and then he was borough president, and then he was running for Congress. So I asked you if I could have, if you would come and hang a painting on my lawn, because my girlfriend Shirley Whitty, who's very often, she passed away in 2012, but she was at that time president of the South Shore Artists Club on Staten Island. And I asked her if I'm on a corner and I had chain link fence across the whole front and down the whole side. What is it, 70 some odd feet across the front and 100 something down the side. A lot of paintings could go on the fence. So Shirley got a group of her South Shore artists to come, and locally we had Stella Cowries, a fantastic friend and artist. But I wrote you a letter, or I called you maybe, I'm not sure. Brain cells are getting a little. And I asked you if you would hang a painting on my fence, and I must have left a message or written to you, because phone rang one day and I picked it up and you said, this is Gregory Perillo. And he said, I just want to tell you, Perillo, don't hang on fences. I said, oh, I'm very sorry. I was so apologetic.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, well, I try to be polite if I can, especially if I want something. So I don't know whether you said, if you have an easel on your porch, then you can come to my house and I'll let you have a painting. So I said, I'll buy one. And that I did. Then when I saw the beautiful bucking bronco, not this one, but the other one, I took my son Peter down to get it, and I think he was like 9 or something at the time.
Yeah, he was small.
And you opened the door, and there you were in your pajamas, because you paint in your pajamas. You just don't get dressed up. And all I could think of was, boy, I'm glad I brought my son. And I said to you, is your wife at home? Nah, she's working. Come on in. I figured, oh, I'm really glad I had my son with me. That wasn't proper. Did you realize that? You weren't proper back in those days. Not at all. So anyway, we went in, and the next thing I knew, you took us downstairs. You had the painting of, oh, geez, that one just
It was a Bronco bus.
No, you let me take Bronco bus to home for the weekend. But this was the 4 little children.
Oh, one in the spirit.
One in the spirit. Yes, we did a raffle on that at Mary's Church.
Yeah.
Okay. And you laid them out and you said to me, all right, which one of the children do I like the best? I said, the little Chinese girl. How did you know that? I said, because she's the only one who's complete. The little black boy had no hair. The little Chinese girl had a little umbrella, and they were all dancing in the field. It was beautiful.
Your
But
memory is going.
it's going. Going where?
Bye-bye.
Why?
Because they were all, you see everyone's faces.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't finish them.
Except the little black boy. He's got his back turned.
They were cute. And Gene Kramer, one of our members in this club, won that at Mary's Church with the raffle.
Yeah.
So we thank you. That's why we have your name up there as a benefactor all the time.
Yeah,
she was thrilled.
I enjoyed that painting.
Yeah, it shows it. It shows it. I'm very fond of the Indians. But I just wanted to say that I found out then that you like to wear your pajamas to paint. And they were full of. I know, we won't tell those secrets though.
Why not?
However,
I'm an open book.
Well, I said to Shirley, why don't we honor Greg at a testimonial dinner at the Beachcomber? You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I have a picture, and I'm going to ask Isaac to put it up. It's a picture of Greg. I brought one here that you can see. This is when we both had more hair. No, Isaac, please, the one of Greg and me at the Beachcomber, please. It's this one, Greg. That's why I brought my own. Yeah. There. Now leave it up for a second. I just want you folks to see. We had this at the Beachcomber restaurant that is no longer, but you'll see that Greg and I both had more hair and darker hair.
Well, we got caught in a hair raid.
Well, if you look very closely, friends, look at my arm, because Greg hugged me, and I asked Shirley, on the pocket, would she paint a Norman Rockwell scene of Greg painting himself? And that's what he put on, that's what Shirley painted on the pocket. So I went up to stand with Greg. I don't know what got me up there, but he put his arms around me. Greg is a mush. I mean, if you don't know what the word means, it means he's always ready to grab any woman who's standing nearby, and whether his wife is there or not. But that's just the joy of the marriage that you...
I did that with Nancy Reagan.
Well, that was in the article that Carol Venati put in. But anyway, so I said to him, oh, I wish I could get an autograph with you. Oh, so you said, give me your arm. And miraculously, somebody gave you a pen. And if you look at that picture again, Isaac, please, if you look at my arm, you will see that Greg wrote love and kisses. Perillo, or Gregory Perillo. But it's on the lower arm while he's hugging me. And I cherish that. I think that's a riot.
Why do you wash it off?
In case I died, the funeral director would have a fit. But I figured, no. Well, I love that picture because it was so spontaneous that it just makes me laugh when I see it. All right, now, the other picture that you just showed by mistake, please don't do that until I get there. Okay, so what else? All right, let me tell you about, I guess this probably goes older. This is going to be shown again at the next show about Boy Scouts, but my son Peter became an Eagle Scout, and I found this plate. It's called Brave and Free, and I found it in Artist Treasures because they were selling your things. Yeah. I don't know if they still are. And I bought it, and then I called you and I said, if I bring down the Brave and Free plate, would you please autograph it for my son? Sure, bring it down, he said. So I did. I had a station wagon, and you looked at I pulled down the back, and you started with the pen, and your lovely wife, Mary, came out, don't let him sign anything. He doesn't know how to spell. But That's you did, true. And you put to Peter, to have and to hold, Crazy Horse, 10/15/87. So this plate, 97, 2007, 30 years old. So it's a beautiful plate. Isn't it a beautiful plate, folks? That's a beautiful plate. And that's why I don't want anybody coming near me when I wrap it up. I have these things wrapped in so much. And then let's move on just a little bit more. What did you think about with that? Did you pattern him after a little boy?
Well, no, he was painted from life at the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota.
Look at the camera, please. That's your camera in the front.
I'm lucky I can paint.
Well, just stare in the front because people want to see your face. Okay? What was his name? Do you remember? Make of
No,
anything. I can't call you.
My memory is not. I have a lot of intellectual pauses.
You have to watch that camera because there's your audience. You have to look at the light because
I like looking at you.
Don't. No, you're supposed to be looking into the camera for the people at home who are looking at you. Okay? All right, let's move on. Let's move on. All right. I charted 39 clubs in my years in Toastmasters, both here and one club in Nigeria. And my Smedley Speakers Advanced Club was the first advanced club on Staten Island. And our local funeral director was in the club. And one year, they presented me with Peaceable Kingdom, which is this plate. And you're going to tell us about this and where it landed. But again, I took it to Greg, and he said it was his plate, but it was a gift from the club that year. And on the back, Mary, I don't know if you ever saw this, but it says, "To my love, Fran, kiss, 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 kiss." And I guess the round one's a huggy, huggy.
Huggy, huggy.
And again, Crazy Horse.
Don't continue it.
There's nothing left
It's
here. You didn't even
dangerous.
you didn't. But you never dated this one. Do people have to tell you to
told
do
you.
everything?
I'm lucky I can
But that
paint.
was years ago when you were younger. But you should always date things. Now I have to just.
I'm not Spielberg. I'm a painter.
But now, Greg, you tell the folks. And can you have a camera zoom in very close on this? Tell them where the painting, and look at the camera.
That is the first painting I did of Peaceable Kingdom. But the biggest and the most popular painting I did for Gorbachev in Russia. And that's hanging in the Kremlin. And that's 10 feet by 15 feet. And I went there and I couldn't wait to come home.
I don't think you want to go there right now. Okay, did they get it on camera? I didn't see it get up there. All right, well, I'm going to put it down now. But that, you can come up and look at this between the shows, folks. It's what? The animals represent all the major countries in the world.
They get along, that's the
The
idea.
Peaceable Kingdom, yes. And I know there are a couple of varieties, but it's a beautiful plate, and I treasure it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I thank Eric Scow, our local one of our local funeral directors at Bedell Funeral Home, for presenting that to me on behalf of the club. All right, let's get into some of the questions that I have for you here. I think that might
I
be
never
fun.
take the fifth.
Sixth? Okay. All right. Oh, here's a nice question. This is sort of like table topics for you. I printed it so I wouldn't need glasses, but I do that anyway. What was the subject of the very first painting you ever sold? Not did on those brown bags, but what was the subject of the first painting you ever sold, and did you feel its loss when it was gone? And look at the camera. Mary, can you come up and hold your husband's head faced into the camera so the home audience can see this? No, I'm kidding, Mary. Why don't you come up and sit next to him anyway? Maybe you can poke him when he doesn't look at the camera. All right, just go around the room. They won't like you coming in front of the camera. Please, I'm asking you to help me because he's not looking at the camera.
Come up here, make me look good.
All she has to do is bang you on the leg when you're not looking at the camera. All right, so can you answer that for us?
The first painting I sold was a Cheyenne. And it was just a Cheyenne portrait. And it was sold in a furniture store in Beaver Street in New York City.
Okay, very, very nice. Remember to poke him if he's not looking at the red light. Do you see the red light there, Mary, on the camera?
I will do this.
Right there. Right there. See the red light? Okay, now when he's not looking there, then you poke him, all right?
I'm not going to move.
Okay. Well, no, you look like you've drank the wrong things. All right. How old were you when you realized that you were a success, Greg?
I was, I would say, 31.
Really?
31. I won the Connolly Award in a prestigious art company with members of Norman Rockwell, John Clymer, Harold von Schmidt, and Dean Cornwell. And the galleries out west called me to display my work.
Very, very nice. Okay, Marlene Dietrich was the subject of one of your paintings. Why was she so special to you?
Because when I was a kid, I was impressed with the movie she made with Jimmy Stewart called Destry Rides Again, which was a Western, and she was the head of the saloon. She was a call girl.
And that appealed to you.
Well, it got me hot.
Oh, shh. And you really want that many DVDs made of this, right?
So I had to make her sitting on a stool holding a cigarette. And it was, I used her photograph to catch her likeness, but I designed her dress.
Okay, let's not go any further, okay? All right, yeah, this is the time and the place. All right, here's one. Was there ever a particular painting that Mary wished you had kept in the family's possession?
Yes, I did a painting of a Sioux having her first child and dipping the child into the water for her first bath. And it's called The First Dip. And Mary loved the painting. And she wanted it, so I gave it to her. But 3 weeks later, I sold the painting. And she came in the house and she says, "Where's my painting?" I says, "I sold it. I got a good price." So she says, "I'll never talk to you unless you get that painting back." So I had to buy it back, and I had to give the guy $500 profit.
But was it worth it? You're still married after 69 years? I think,
69 years of loveliness.
You found that word up in the air there? You were
Well,
groping.
I thought of the pleasures she gave me, such as doing the Lindy, or doing a disco, or doing a slow foxtrot.
Because a lot of people don't know that you have a you have a dance floor in your house with that
I
spinning
did it
light.
because Mary made me feel so romantic that I felt like I was on top of the Empire State Building like King Kong.
But you know what happened to him?
Well, I'm still alive.
Yes, obviously. All right, let's
After 69 years.
okay.
And look, she was, that's enough.
Okay, let's move on, because somebody's going to clue me in when we have like 3 minutes on the clock. All right. When you're out in public, did you ever see a face that inspired you to use in a painting?
Oh, I go to the Monument Valley to paint the Apache Reservation. I go to the Pine Ridge to do the Cheyenne and Sioux, and I look for character studies, and I sketch them in pen and ink, then splash watercolors on it, take it to my studio, and embellish it.
Okay. If you could choose, and we have to go, I see a red light, so we're going to have to move on quickly. If you could choose 3 words to describe your life, 3 words, what would they be?
Mary Perillo, Annette Perillo, and Stevie Perillo.
Okay, it's a good thing you didn't have a dozen kids. All right, Greg, I know that you spent a lot of years on a reservation. Can you, when they start flicking the light, then we'll have to sort of say goodbye. But can you tell that middle camera, oh, they have you on that camera now, okay. Camera 3. Can you tell us how long were you on a reservation and what did you do there?
I was on a reservation for 44 years. Back and forth. Every time I was going to art school and the school would close, Mary and I would go out west to the reservations. And it improved my work, and I got to know history of the Indian nations. And here's something that a lot of people don't know. The Indians did not stick together. They were always against each other. The only allies was the Cheyenne and the Sioux in South Dakota. And they are my favorite warriors.
Okay, I'm going to ask someone to get Kenny, our station manager, in here very quickly, please. Kenny Graham, please. You're going to make a presentation.
Oh,
At this point, Greg is going to give,
I got
oh,
it.
you got it? Okay. He's going to give a presentation to Kenny Graham for the CTV studio, and this will be the first of Greg's works at the Staten Island CTV studio. Remember, you're not mic'd, Kenny, so. Just put the paper down on the floor for now. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds. So.
It's too bad I can't stand up, but Kenny,
Mary, move that cup,
I'm
huh?
going to give you this Bronco Buster lithograph, which is quite rare. And you promised me it'll hang in this building
Can I
and
see it? Oh.
enjoy it very much.
Kenny, when you get it, would you face front? Let us see it too. Let's see. Isn't that the one that I had on my stoop? I think that's the one I had on my stoop.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
there's another bucking bronco.
I did maybe 30 of them.
I have the picture at home of my front porch. I don't know. Thank you for accepting that on behalf of Harold and the group. Thank you very much. Okay, and we're just about done. We have about 40 seconds. So, Greg, thank you for sharing. Well, your birthday is March 12th, so it's time to get more cards. And I gave you the book, and I gave you. Did I give you? I guess I gave you the cards, and it's all there. Mary, keep him strong, keep him healthy, and we'll be here on May 3rd, 2018.
Mamma mia.
And we'll just sit here until the credits roll, okay?
Well, Mary is my blood transfusion.
Mary, tell us what's life been like, because we have 20 seconds. In 2 words, what's life like with Greg?
Hectic.
Into the camera. Get it on tape so when the divorce comes through, you have proof.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, he could paint Indians from now until doomsday, and I would never get tired of them.
She never stops me.
No, of course
Why should she? That's the golden arm.
Well, she,
But my arm has your ink on it, this arm. Love and kisses. He never wrote on, did he ever write on you? See, look at that. I got